welcome back to part 2 of 12 days. I am dead. Like literally dead. I have been drinking too much last night. And there was some weird fucking shit. So we're just gonna do this. I've had 2 hours of sleep. I'm going to read this fucking fanfic. I'm going to enjoy it. Hi. Welcome to my hungover live stream. Okay, so I'm going to start. And I'm not going to stop in between. You are on time, Hyra. Good girl. It's been like... yeah, it's exactly 9. Nice. Anyway. I've been having like... no, I've had like 2 hours of sleep. So... why doesn't this go away? Oh shit. Sorry. Can't swear. Okay. I'm going to start. I might yawn a couple of times. Okay, that's fine. I'll post it on YouTube anyway, so you won't miss anything. You won't miss anything either way. But it doesn't matter. Okay. Day 2. Harry didn't need to be dragged out of bed. That's fucking... that would be me playing Sims right now. I remember I used to make this thing on Sims with my crush. It was really awkward because like 5 years later I found out I actually made that world and I was embarrassed. Okay, but I'm going to start because otherwise it'll be annoying. So good luck listening to me and my very sexy voice. Okay. Harry didn't need to be dragged out of bed or marched down the Great Hall that morning. Dean and Seamus refused to leave the dorm until Harry did, and then they trailed him and Ron and Hermione down the hall. Harry quickly found a seat by the end of the table and pulled Ron and Hermione into the only empty seats. Seamus shot him a glare before he and Dean continued down the table, not finding seats until halfway down. I don't like sitting with all these first years, Ron said uncomfortably. They're staring. I don't care, Harry replied. I'm used to it, and so are you. Just shut up and eat. Hermione smacked his arm. Just because you're nervous doesn't mean you have the right to be a prat. I wasn't... Oh, look, Ron interrupted. The post is here. Harry refused his bacon. Harry focused on his bacon. Who refuses bacon, honestly? Hi, peeps. Don't stare at him this time, he said quietly. You'll make everyone think it's you sending the gifts. He paused. No, wait, do that. I am sending gifts, Ron replied. To Hermione, my girlfriend. It's okay, you're forgiven. Everyone knows we're an item, but if you openly stare at Malfoy, it'll be suspicious. Stop looking at him and let me do it. But it's funny, Ron protested. Would one of you just tell me what's going on? Harry interrupted testily. He's looking for a label again, Hermione said. Sorry, I heard a creepy sound. Where am I? I don't know why, since the wrapping paper is the same, and since it says day 2, but apparently he's not that clever. Now he's tapping the box with his wand. You did put protection charms on them, didn't you, Harry? So he won't be able to trace them back to you. Yes, Harry said. That was the first thing I thought of, before I even let Ron talk me into his bollocks. Now what? He's holding up the gift and, well, I'm sorry, but I think he's making fun of the wrapping, she said uncomfortably. Wow. But now he's opening it, and, Harry, are you sure you want to know? Harry tightened his hold on his fork. Stop it, you're making it worse. Just come out with it. You come out, Harry. You fucking gay wizard. Okay. Well, I think he's laughing at the cliché of peppermints in a snowman, Hermione said apologetically. I can't hear what he's saying, mind you, so I could be wrong. But I know that smirk, and, well, all of his friends are laughing. But he's having a peppermint, so that's good. And I'm pretty sure he's gloating, because Pansy tried to take one from the tin and he wouldn't let her. Yeah, it's not all that bad, Ron chipped in. He looks happy, actually. He's still smirking, but it doesn't look as mean as it usually does. For Malfoy, that's saying something. Ron's right, Hermione said. He's being quite possessive. Not that he usually goes around sharing, but, oh, look, my package. That ended all further analysis. Harry carefully kept his gaze away from the Slytherin table. This was a much better gift than the cracker. Anything that didn't add to his attractiveness was much better. Why aren't you scrolling down? Okay. Dean and Seamus cornered him in the common room that night. Malfoy got another gift this morning, Seamus said casually. Nobody else did, Dean added, except for Hermione, and we asked around. Nobody got any mail outside of the regular post. Nice try. You seriously? What the hell? Harry stammered. Why do you even care? We know everything, Dean said. It's our business, Seamus said. The business of knowing things. If you just give in and tell us, all of this will be over. We'll leave you alone and let you enjoy your pathetic, unrequited love. No, you'll spread it all over school and make my life a living hell, Harry countered. And it's not pathetic or unrequited, or Malfoy. Merlin, really, Malfoy. Couldn't you at least pick someone more believable than that? Like, Dean prompted. I don't know, Harry exclaimed. Maybe someone I don't openly despise, like anyone other than Malfoy? You're forgetting something, Seamus said. Yeah, what's that? We saw you wrapping gifts, Dean said. Harry froze. They had, hadn't they? And they had seen the mangled mess he had made of the snowman. And before that, they'd seen the snowman. And then they'd see Malfoy get the snowman in the mail. Those were really popular, Harry said. The witch at the checkout told me. Apparently, everyone's going for them. Well, we'll just have to see now, don't we? Won't we? I'm sorry. Whatever. Seamus asked. If tomorrow, by any chance, Malfoy were to receive a gingerbread candle, we'll know for sure. Or you could just leave me alone, Harry suggested. There have to be more people more interesting than me. Nope, Seamus said cheerfully. The boy who lived twice is prime gossip material, especially if you're crushing on Draco Malfoy, Dean said. Well, I'm not, Harry said irritably. Now go away, I'm studying. If you say so, Seamus said lightly. See you around, Dean replied. Goodbye. You're back. Good. Hello, new joiners, and welcome to my very sexy voice because of all the screaming last night. Okay. Harry was dreading breakfast to the point where he was seriously considering poisoning Dean and Seamus so they wouldn't see the gingerbread candle, or just for the fun of it. He was supposed to be nervous and anxious and antsy because of Malfoy, not because of his own bloody friends. They were ruining this, and he was pissed. Instead, he snuck out while they were asleep and had an early breakfast. He brought Ron and Hermione with him, despite Ron's complaints at being woken up early, and made sure they were flanking him. Slowly the table began to fill up, and he flagged Neville and Ginny over, claiming they hadn't had a chance to really talk in a while. And he missed them. Ginny narrowed her eyes. Harry, we talked a few days ago. I tried to get you to come to the Burrow instead of staying at Hogwarts for the holiday, but you said you had business here and wouldn't tell me what it was. And I was with you Saturday night while you were wrapping Christmas gifts, Neville said. Plus, we were partners in charms yesterday. Yeah, but Harry trailed off as Dean and Seamus came in. They ignored him completely, sitting at the very end of the table. They weren't interested in him, just in whatever Malfoy got that morning, and from their place they'd have an excellent view on the Slytherin table. Harry shook himself. But still, you're both going home for a break. We should hang out as much as we can before you leave. Ginny rolled her eyes, and Neville shook his head. "Whatever you say," Ginny replied. To his credit, Harry kept up an entirely coherent conversation, even when Malfoy sauntered into the hall, loudly wondering what he'd be getting for the third day. "God, he's been insufferable lately," Ginny said, glaring at him. "I was studying in the library last night, and he kept going on and on about his peppermints. Really, they are peppermints." Harry had to work very hard to keep from blushing. Yeah, he wore that stupid hat all day Sunday too. Or at least at meals. I don't know about the rest of the day. Just because someone's daft enough to send him daily gifts doesn't mean he has to flaunt it all over the school. "Malfoy, not flaunt," Ginny asked sarcastically. "Yeah, right. Yeah, whoever's doing this should really have thought of the effect on the rest of the school," Ron said happily. "It's not fair to the rest of us." "Plus, he made fun of my hat," Hermione said, though she couldn't stop smiling. "Pink and sparkly wins out over boring black any day." "Hey, look," Neville said, turning around to watch the Slytherin table. "Today's package." "Good Lord," Ginny muttered, resolutely looking away. But at least Harry could watch this time without it being suspicious. Now that most of the hall was staring, he hadn't meant for this to get so blown out of proportion, but at least half hall was watching Malfoy's gifts as Malfoy's gifts was delivered. Malfoy was smirking already, basking in the attention. He raised the box with one hand and held up 3 fingers with the other. Harry was not happy. He kicked Ron as hard as he could, who let out a yelp. This whole thing had been Ron's idea. Ron had pressured him to do it. Ron was taking joy in his misery. Fuck Ron. Yeah, fuck you, Ron. Making a show of it, Malfoy unwrapped the box. Harry couldn't look away, the same way he couldn't not watch a train wreck. Except he was causing the train to derail. Even if nobody knew it yet, Dean and Seamus would figure it out as soon as Malfoy had up the bloody candle. And now they'd tell everyone and everything would be ruined. Harry watched something like horror as Malfoy opened the box and sniffed the candle. At least he seemed to like it. Then he passed the box around the Slytherin table, clearly loving the jealous looks and appreciative words as his housemates smelled the candle. When it got back to him, he gave it a final sniff before putting it back in the box and tucking it into his bag. "That wasn't too bad," Neville said, turning back to his own table. "I mean, it was embarrassing to watch, but at least he can't go around with a lit candle all day." "Hopefully," Ron said. "I suppose he couldn't chance it to follow him around." "Shut up," Harry replied. "Don't give him any ideas. We have Transfiguration with the Slytherins next. Do you really want to spend the whole class with a stupid scented candle burning?" Ron looked mildly horrified, and Hermione winced. "Those things always give me a headache," she said. "I'd get a migraine if I was stuck in a classroom with one." Ron paled. You do?" Hermione gave him an odd look. "Yes, why?" An owl swooped down and delivered her package. She flushed. Oh, well, it's only certain scents," she said. "You're a terrible liar," Ron said dejectedly. "It's fine, just chuck it." She gave him a sad smile. "That's probably be best." "Weird how Malfoy and you got candles on the same day," Harry mused, hoping if he actively participated in the speculation, nobody would suspect him. "Ron, did you tell anyone about the candle?" "Just our dorm," Ron said. "You, Neville, Dean and Seamus were all watching, but you were wrapping gifts for my family, so Ginny can take them home with her. It couldn't have been you." He turned to Neville and wiggled his eyebrows suggestively. "What of it, Neville? Are you sending Malfoy Christmas gifts?" Neville glared at him, but at least he played along. "Oh yes, absolutely. It's not like he hasn't made my life a living hell all these years. We've been having a secret affair since 3rd year." "Well, that's that," Harry said. "Mystery..." Okay. Where the fuck am I? Okay, what are you giving him tomorrow? A surprise, Neville said, returning to his breakfast. We're all on the edge of our seats, I'm sure, Ginny said dryly. And if, by some magical coincidence, you happen to run into the real gift giver, give him a punch for me, would you? Hermione's eyes widened. Is it you? She asked. You're certainly overreacting. Maybe it's a diversion. Ginny didn't bother to acknowledge her. Harry was very pleased by all of this. Malfoy didn't light the candle during transfigurations or lunch, but he did go back to wearing the bloody top hat, and he made a show of eating several peppermints during class. That was miserable, not only because he was flaunting his gifts, but the hat was obnoxiously attractive, and the spectacle with the peppermints rolling them around, sucking hard enough on the candies to hollow his cheeks, occasionally licking his lips. That just wasn't fair. After class, Dean and Seamus cornered Harry in the hallway. Hello, I'm in the middle of something. Wel. Het is nog geen 10 uur.
Ja, sorry.
Ik zit midden in een livestream. Nee, dat ga ik echt niet doen. Ik ben hardop aan het voorlezen.
It's a friend.
I'm so done. I'll continue it later. I'm back. I'm even more tired than I was before. And I'm irritated. But I'm going to finish my fucking live stream somehow. And I'm going to post this on YouTube because this has been a mess. Okay. After class, Dean and Seamus cornered Harry in the hallway. Ron and Hermione had stayed behind, so she could talk to Professor McGonagall about some detail Harry didn't catch or care about. And so he had just gone ahead unthinkingly. We know it's you, Seamus said. Even if it weren't for the candle, we'd have known, Dean added. The way you were staring at him, watching him eat those peppermints. Seamus shook his head. Tss, tss, Harry, you can't be so obvious. Harry opened his mouth to deny it, but lost the will. Dean and Seamus had seen him wrapping the candle. He couldn't argue with that. Fine, he said. Fine, just get it over with. Dean and Seamus exchanged a look, and then Dean clapped him on his shoulder. We won't say anything, he said. Harry stared at them. What? Under normal circumstances, we'd be all over it. But you're so pathetic, Seamus supplied. It'd be like kicking a puppy when it tries to lick your hands. But you have to promise us one thing, Dean said menacingly. Harry narrowed his eyes. What? Send us a picture of his face when he finds out about you, Seamus said with a grin. We have to see. It'll be so good. Fuck you, Harry snapped. I hate you both. At least you'll send us an owl, yeah? Dean asked. Let us know how it goes. Fine, whatever. Harry pushed past them and doubled back to the Transfiguration room. Ron and Hermione were just leaving. And he told them what Dean and Seamus had said as they walked to their next class. Could be worse, Ron said optimistically. They could have told him, Hermione replied. Or insisted on the picture, Ron added. I know, Harry sighed. Bloody hell, this was bad enough before the whole school got involved. You'll be fine, Hermione said reassuringly. He clearly loves the gifts. He might be a bit surprised when you tell him, but once he gets used to the idea, I'm sure he'll come around. Harry felt a bit like crying. Right, come around. Or you'll be able to move on, Ron said, and eventually you'll be whining about someone different, and hopefully someone we don't all hate and have to pretend to like, so you— Ow! He rubbed his arm while Hermione hit him. It's fine, Hermione said. He's not my favorite person either, but as long as he treats you well, he'll be fine. There's no treating me, Harry replied. Sorry, checking my hands out. I've been doing some overstraining I'm scared it's gonna die off. Hermione, you're too optimistic, and Ron, you're an ass. Can I just have a moment of silence to mope over the mess I've gotten myself into? Please. They remained silent until they reached Chance. And then the conversation returns to classwork. Thanks for not watching. I swear to God, I'm so tired. I'm gonna sleep right away. So, thank you for watching after this live stream or on YouTube. My YouTube channel is the same as my Instagram channel, and you should leave a like. And I don't really like doing this stuff because I hate it when other people ask me to leave a like, but here I am. Have a good day, night, midday, afternoon.